These 8 trucks are the worst according to Consumer Reports 2025, and please listen to this if you're considering one of them. From engines that drink oil like it's free to batteries that cost more than a used car, these pickups and SUVs could empty your wallet. Wait until you hear what the second-last truck does to Toyota's bulletproof reputation. Number 8. Nissan Frontier, the mid-size pickup that bites back. The Nissan Frontier is supposed to be the dependable little truck in the lineup. Yeah, not this time. Consumer Reports actually ranked it among the least reliable new vehicles of 2025. That's not a badge you want pinned on your tailgate. The big headline problem? Transmission failures. And we're not talking about a little slip here and there. Some owners are getting hit with failures so bad the whole thing needs to be rebuilt or replaced before the truck even reaches 60,000 miles. 60,000. That's barely past the new car smell stage. It's not just the gearbox that's throwing a tantrum. There are drive system malfunctions popping up, and electrical accessory breakdowns too. People are losing four-wheel drive function under load, which is a fun surprise when you're on a steep hill or, anywhere that isn't a Walmart parking lot. The brakes? Also causing drama. We're talking premature wear, vibrations when stopping, and a nice little bump in your annual maintenance bill by a few $100. And if you thought that was all, nope. There are noises and fluid leaks being reported in models as recent as 2023. That's not just a confidence killer, it's a resale value killer too. Because who's lining up to buy a used truck that sounds like it's gargling bolts and dripping mystery fluids? But as much as the Frontier's mid-size issues can make you question your life choices, the next pickup shows that you don't even need gas or diesel for a financial meltdown. Number 7. Rivian R1T, the EV adventure truck that could strand you. So here comes Rivian's R1T, the flashy EV adventure truck that's supposed to be the future of pickup power. And sure, it looks cool and makes all the right futuristic noises when it's working. The reality? Survey data shows charging malfunctions that keep showing up like a bad sequel. Some owners even got the ultimate EV horror show, a high-voltage battery failure that lit up the dash with full system error messages. And when that battery goes, you better have a second mortgage lined up. Repairs or replacements can run over $15,000. That's before you factor in the parts and service delays that can stretch for weeks. Imagine paying that much and still watching your truck sit in the driveway like a very expensive lawn ornament. Climate system failures are another fun twist. In extreme weather, you lose cabin comfort, and if you're planning a long road trip, forget it. It's basically the truck telling you, yeah, we're not doing this today. Then there are the brakes, body hardware defects, and infotainment glitches. All those little things add up to more downtime, and this isn't happening to old beaters. We're talking about trucks that are practically brand new. People buy the R1T thinking it's the perfect blend of adventure and modern tech, but what they're really getting is a masterclass in waiting for the service department to call them back. And while EV delays and headaches are bad, the next truck proves you can wreck your wallet the old-fashioned way, with some mechanical carnage straight from the factory floor. Number 6. GMC Sierra and Chevrolet Silverado, GM's costly lifter gamble. Ah yes, GM's big boys, the Sierra and the Silverado. Legendary names, but lately they're also making the worst trucks highlight reel. The problem is GM's shiny active fuel management system, which was supposed to save gas. Instead, it's chewing up engines from the inside. Here's how it works, or rather, doesn't work. The lifter components that control valve operation are failing early. When they go, you get misfires, metal shavings in the oil, and eventually full-on engine destruction. Not needs a tune-up destruction. I'm talking, this is now a $4,000 to $8,000 paperweight destruction. And, of course, these lovely surprises tend to happen right after the warranty clock stops ticking. It gets better. There are class action lawsuits claiming GM knew about the defect during pre-production testing. Engineers allegedly saw the problems coming, but management wanted those fuel economy numbers so badly, they just went ahead anyway. The result? Thousands of owners now footing massive repair bills for trucks that should have been bulletproof. And when you stack this against something like a Toyota Tundra, which is out here hitting 200,000 plus miles with no drama, the Sierra and Silverado's track record is just embarrassing. But even GM's self-inflicted wounds seem mild compared to the next off-road icon that's literally shaking drivers' wallets and their teeth at highway speeds. Number 5. Jeep Wrangler, the death wobble debt machine. The Jeep Wrangler has always been marketed as the rugged, go-anywhere hero. But if you've spent time behind the wheel at highway speeds, you might have met its evil twin, the death wobble. It's not an urban legend. It's what happens when that solid front axle and ancient suspension geometry get together with a bump in the road. Suddenly, your steering wheel starts vibrating like it's possessed, and the whole front end goes into an oscillating fit. Fixing it isn't cheap. A complete front-end rebuild to address the issue will often run you over $2,000. And here's the kicker. Even after you've done the work, there's no guarantee it won't come back. You could end up spending big money just to buy yourself a little time before the wobble returns for round 2. The problem's been around for so long that it's now part of the Wrangler's resale baggage. Trucks with a known death wobble history sell for 15 to 20% less than similar SUVs that don't have the issue. So not only does it cost you to fix, it costs you again when you try to sell. Owners describe the experience in colorful ways, but the common theme is sheer terror. One moment you're cruising at 70 miles per hour, the next you're convinced the Jeep is going to shake itself apart right there on the interstate. It's the kind of adventure nobody signs up for, unless of course you like your road trips with a side of high-speed panic. But structural shake is just one flavor of financial pain. The next hybrid truck we'll get into doesn't just make your steering wheel vibrate. It can make your bank account do the same thing, and fast. Number 4. Ford F-150. Hybrid when complexity meets catastrophe. The Ford F-150 Hybrid was supposed to be the perfect middle ground, the capability of a full-size truck with the efficiency of a hybrid system. Instead, it's sitting at the top of Consumer Reports' naughty list as the least reliable new vehicle of 2025. And the problems aren't little annoyances. We're talking hybrid battery failures, transmission glitches, and drive system faults, all making an appearance early in ownership. Imagine paying a premium for cutting-edge tech only for it to cut straight into your savings account. The hybrid battery, when it decides to give up, isn't just a swing-by-the-shop fix. Out of warranty, you're looking at a bill north of $8,000 for a replacement. That's not including the labor or any other while we're in there surprises the service department might find. And yes, the climate system and electrical accessories seem to have joined in on the chaos. Air conditioning breaking in midsummer, heated seats deciding to ghost you in winter, and infotainment systems that glitch like they're on dial-up internet. All of this is just part of the package. The timing makes it worse. A lot of these failures are showing up in the first 3 years. That's right, when you're still paying off the bulk of your loan. So now you're juggling massive repair bills on a truck you still owe money on, which is like paying twice for the same disappointment. If you think that's bad, just wait. Because if the hybrid F-150 drains your patience, the all-electric version is ready to drain your wallet faster than it can drain its battery. Number 3. Ford F-150. Lightning shockingly expensive EV trouble on paper. The Lightning is a dream, the iconic F-150, but with zero emissions and instant torque. In reality, it's turning into a very expensive science experiment for a lot of owners. High-voltage battery problems are leaving trucks immobile, and once you're out of warranty, you're looking at $4,000 to $6,000 to get back on the road. That's the repair bill, not the fun accessories bill, just to make the thing move again. Then there's the 12-volt battery, which sounds harmless until you realize it powers essential systems. When it dies, you can forget about starting the truck or even getting basic electronics to work. And speaking of electronics, in-car systems are having their own meltdown, screens freezing, controls glitching, and software updates sometimes making things worse instead of better. And here's the kicker. Getting it fixed is a waiting game. With a limited service network, owners are sometimes waiting weeks just for a part, and even longer for a tech who knows what they're doing. That's a long time to be making payments on what's essentially a driveway decoration. Owners aren't just frustrated, they're losing confidence. Multiple repeat failures have people questioning whether the Lightning is ready for prime time. And while this electric headache is enough to scare off anyone, the next truck SUV hybrid shows that even a brand famous for reliability can stumble hard when it rushes new tech to market. Number 2. Toyota Sienna Hybrid as a large family hauler. If there's one badge people associate with buy it and forget about it reliability, it's Toyota. That's why the problems with the Sienna Hybrid sting so much. This isn't a tiny glitch here and there. This is a core system flaw. The hybrid battery cooling system isn't doing its job, which means the battery degrades faster than it should. And in 34% of owners, it's leading to complete hybrid system failure before the odometer even hits 50,000 miles. Replacing that system isn't something you budget for when you buy a Toyota, but you might want to now. We're talking $12,000 or more for a complete system replacement. And the limited warranty extensions Toyota has offered? They exclude plenty of vehicles based on production dates, so many owners are left paying the full cost themselves. The horror stories are brutal. Check hybrid system, lights popping on just weeks after the warranty expires. Cars that drive fine one day and go into limp mode the next. And the worst part? It looks like this hybrid system didn't get the same rigorous testing Toyota's earlier models were famous for. In other words, you might be the one doing the beta testing and paying for it. Still, as bad as that is, nothing quite matches the disaster waiting in the engine bays of our #1 offenders. If you thought losing a hybrid battery was expensive, try seizing an engine with no warning at all. Number 1. Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon, mid-size seizure specialists. The Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon are supposed to be the more practical pickups, smaller, more affordable, and still tough enough to work hard. But in 2025, they're earning a different kind of reputation, destroying their own engines. The 3.6-liter V6 and 2.7-liter turbo options are burning through oil at an alarming rate, up to a quart every 1,000 miles, without any visible leaks. That wouldn't be so bad if it came with a warning, but here's the problem. It often doesn't. The oil drops, the bearings fail, and then, boom, full engine seizure. No gradual decline, no gentle nudge to check the dipstick, just a sudden catastrophic failure that leaves you staring at a $15,000 plus engine replacement bill. And that's not a wild overestimate. In many cases, that repair alone is worth over 25% of the truck's total value. You'd think warranty coverage would swoop in to save the day, but there's a catch. Relief is rare unless you can prove you've done strict oil level checks at the intervals specified. The problem? Most owners weren't warned they'd need to treat these engines like high-maintenance divas. So when the oil consumption turns into a failure, they're left holding the bill. It's the kind of defect that not only wrecks your wallet, but also tanks the resale value. Nobody's lining up to buy a used truck with a reputation for seizing its own engine out of the blue. These two trucks aren't just unreliable, they're financial landmines with tailgates. And that's why knowing what not to buy is just as important as knowing what to buy. So hit subscribe now, because the next list might save you from a $15,000 repair bill.